This overview of Formative will give you a foundation of its main features from both a student and teacher perspective. As a teacher, I'm going to sign in with Google. As with most sites that you'll now use as a single sign-on. And when I reach the main desktop of Formative, you're going to notice a couple of different features. One, you will see that there is a Classes tab, and by clicking on that Classes tab, you'll notice the ability to sync with all of your Google Classroom classes, and you'll see those listed right down here. If I go back to the Formative page, you'll notice that you have the ability to create folders and organize any formatives that you do make. I'll label this folder Assessments, and that's where I will create my first formative. I'll click on the Assessments tab and simply New Formative. I can enter the title of my new formative here. I'll call it Unit 4 Pre-Assessment. That title will save automatically. I'll then go over to the middle of the screen and hit that dancing plus sign or addition symbol. And you will notice a myriad of different types of content and questions that you can both create and then assign to the kids. But in particular, the bottom two items where you can grab an item from a bank of existing questions, that's a pretty neat tool, as well as uploading your own content, which is what I'm going to do right here. You have a choice to select from your computer or Google Drive. I will select one from my computer and hit open, and it's just a standard issue PDF. It'll take a moment to process the file, but once it's finished, you will notice that your PDF will show up here. It doesn't matter the amount of pages that you have. You can click individually on each question and then subsequently add a different type of question response that you'll require from the kids. In the case of question 1, I'll hit multiple selection. You can type further instructions if you want, but the question is typically right on the PDF. In most cases, I will add an E and an F choice since there are 2 additional choices on the test itself. I can then select the multiple answers that I will require to have the kids select if they want full credit. And then I can move on to the next question. Moving on to question 2, I'll be able to complete the same question type or create an entirely different question type, or a different response type, I should say. Then if I move on to the third question, it says order these numbers from least to greatest. Then what I'll go ahead and do is I'll select a show your work response type, and you're able to edit what the kids will see on their basically whiteboard, more or less. And if they're on their phone, they'll have the ability to annotate with their finger, or they can also type in that same box. More on that when we get to the student view. Moving on to question 6, I can actually individually select sub-problems, whether it's 6A or 6B or 6C, and I can make those short answer response types for them to put a fraction or some sort of expression in there as an answer. Once I've chosen all of the questions that I would like the students to answer, and it does not have to be every single question on the sheet, I will go to the top and hit assign. I can assign it to all or some of my Google Classrooms and students in my Google Classrooms. And then you have 2 choices at the bottom. One is to assign and post directly to Classroom so that they will see it on their feed in their classwork section, or you can assign only. And I'm going to hit assign only because that's what I'll be doing just as a demo from the student view. I will click it now, and you will then notice that there are a couple of other choices where you can still post it to Google Classroom. Clicking on OK will bring you to the student response section where you will see their results, but more on that later.